Welcome all. Today in building services we will get to know about the types of earthing or the methods of earthing in the electrical systems. So there are mainly two methods of earthing. One is the conventional earthing, another one is the maintenance free earthing. So conventional earthing is nothing but they will dig a large pit in which they will use the charcoal and the salt. In between the charcoal and the salt, they will be positioning the GI pipes, that is galvanized iron pipes or the copper plates in the middle layer of the charcoal and the salt in the large pit which is digged. Next is about the maintenance free earthing. So it is a new type of earthing system, so which is a ready-made one, standardized and scientifically developed. So it has some several benefits such as the maintenance free, consistency and more surface area. In case of maintenance free, there is no need to pour water at the regular interval except in the sandy soils. In terms of consistency, maintain stable and the consistent earth resistance around the year. Then more surface area. The conductive component creates a conductive zone which provides the increased surface area for the peak current dissipations and also gets stable reference points. So this will be the benefits of the maintenance free earthing. So in case of maintenance free earthing, so low earth resistance. These are the characteristics of the maintenance free earthing, which has the low earth resistance and highly conductive, that is carries a high peak current repeatedly, no corrosion, long life and easy installation. Next is some of the methods of the conventional earthing. So in case of conventional earthing, it is classified into four methods, that is plate earthing, pipe earthing, rod earthing and the strip earthing. So before going into the methods, we will get to know about the earthing electrodes. So the resistance of the ground electrodes has the three basic components, that is the resistance of the ground electrodes itself and the connection to the electrode, then the contact resistance of the surrounding earth to the electrode, then the resistance of the surrounding body of the earth around the ground electrode. So it consists of three basic components. One is the earth wire, connector and the electrode. So in this, first one is the earth wire, second one is the connector and third one is the electrode. In the methods of conventional earthing, first one is the plate earthing. So in terms of plate earthing, a plate which is of the copper or the galvanized iron will be buried into the ground at a depth not less than 3 meters from the ground level. So the earth plate is embedded in the alternate layers of the coke and the salt for the minimum thickness of about 15 centimeter. So the earth wire which is of the copper wire for the copper plate earthing and galvanized iron wire for the galvanized iron plate earthing. So it's securely bolted to an earth plate with the help of the bolt, nuts and washer made up of the copper in case of the copper plate earthing, and in case of the galvanized iron plate earthing will be done. Next is about the pipe earthing. It is the best form of the earthing and it is also a cheap one. In this, galvanized iron pipe of 38 mm diameter and 2 meter length is vertically embedded in the ground, and its depth depends upon the soil condition. So the wire is embedded up to the wet soil. The earth wire are fastened to the top section of the pipe with nut and the bolts. The pitch area around the galvanized iron pipe filled with the salt and coal mixture for improving the soil conditions and efficiency of the earthing. So it can take heavy leakage current for the same electrode size in comparison to the plate earthing. So in case of pipe earthing compared to plate earthing, so pipe earthing where there will be a heavy leakage of currents. Then the earth wire connections with GI pipes being above the ground level can be checked for carrying out continuity test as and when desired, while in the plate earthing it is difficult. In summer seasons, to have an efficient earthing, 3 or 4 buckets of water is put through the funnel for the better continuity of the earthing in case of pipe earthing. Next is about the rod earthing. In this type of earthing, 12.5 mm diameter solid rod of which is made up of copper, 16 mm diameter solid rod which is made up of galvanized iron or steel or the hollow section of 25 mm GI pipes of length not less than 3 meters will be driven vertically into the earth. So in order to increase the embedded length of the electrode under the ground, which is sometimes necessary to reduce the earth resistance to desired value, more than one rod sections are hammered one above the other. So this system is suitable for area where there is a sandy soil, and this is a very cheap type of earthing, cheap method of earthing. Next is about the strip or the wire earthing. So in this, strip electrode of the cross section which is not less than 25 mm into 1.5 mm of the copper or 25 mm into 4 mm of the galvanized iron or the steel or buried in the horizontal trenches for the minimum depth of 0.5 meter. So that is other types of earthing will be driven into the earth vertically, whereas in the strip or the wire earthing it will be driven horizontally. So in round conductor, if round conductors are used, their cross sectional area shall not be smaller than 3 if the copper is used, and 3 mm square if the galvanized iron or the steel is used. So the length of the buried conductor shall be sufficient to give the required earth resistance, that is about 0.5 omega to 1.5 omega. So it shall however be not less than 15 meters, that is the electrode shall be as the widely distributed as possible in a single straight or the circular trenches radiating from the point. So this type of a strip or the wire earthing is mainly preferred for the rocky soil, since in rocky soil it will be difficult for the plate earthing to be done, that is to drive into it vertically. So in terms of it, so the strip earthing or the wire earthing can be adopted and can be driven horizontally. Next is about the applications of the earthing in case of telecommunications and also for the transmissions, then substations and the power generations, transformer and neutral earthing, then lightning arrestor earthing, equipment body earthing, water treatment plants, heavy industries, colleges, hospitals, banks, and also for the residential buildings. Thank you.